Good morning, David Coombe here with CBS AM Debrief. It's Tuesday the 14th of June. We had public holiday most Australian states yesterday with the ASX closed. I think WA was business as usual. And in fact there were some markets closed in Europe, I believe, but generally a fairly subdued session. The Dow up just 1 point, so at least a little bit of green there after seeing a lot of red recently. Fair bit of merger and acquisition activity being fairly buoyant for the market, but the Standard & Poor's cutting of the Greek debt rating from B to 3C, triple C rating with an outlook negative really wasn't very helpful there in the end. So it did weigh on investors' minds, and consequently we've seen this almost flat session despite the fairly positive M&A activity there. Let's have a look at some of the other numbers here. Brazil was down fairly heavily, as was Toronto there. Over in Europe, a little bit of a more positive picture, although rather fairly mild, modest sort of one at that. Switzerland down most of all, 1.18, and then from Friday we had our market up just 12.5. That was after a fairly positive lead from the US on Thursday night. Hang Seng up 87 and the Nikkei down 66. The futures here this morning are suggesting that we will open even to down slightly at 45.25. The Hang Seng at 145 up, and the Nikkei up 10. Let's have a look at the commodity space. West Texas is now down well below $100 at 96.95, and natural gas at $4.60. That came off a little bit. Brent at $119.10, and then in the rest of the commodity space we've seen mostly red ink here, with the exception of coffee up just 0.8%, oats up 1.39, and wool even. Big movers to the downside, rough rice 1.91, and wheat 1.92, and cotton at 1.55 was the other one there. Copper at $4.05.55, up just 0.2. Gold at $15.16 was up $1.10. So obviously seen a fairly big move there to the downside over recent days. Silver at $34.82, and then over to our currency pairs. The euro is 1.4427 US dollars. The pound 1.6380. US dollar buying 80.19 yen. Now that has come off by 0.0518 here. So reasonably big move there. The Aussie buying 106.11. The US dollar buying 0.9757 Canadian and 0.8366 Swiss francs. Okay, we'll take a look at the Falcon Trader here on a couple of items. This one here is the SPY 200, and we're back down here. We've talked about this a couple of times last week, I think, at this mid 4,000 level, where we're starting to see some consolidation, and expect to see this hold as a level of support. If not, we'll be looking down towards 4,200 perhaps as the next target to the downside. I'm of the mind that we will, pending any further shocks or bad news, we'll see this area hold here and probably just tend to consolidate and move sideways from here for some time, maybe ranging up to 4,700 or even 48, but that would be about it for some time. Can't see a lot of reason for the markets to be moving up or down too much from there. Now, this is the US dollar yen. Pardon me, I know that Jonathan has been talking about this a couple of times in previous sessions here. So we can see that it has touched down here a number of times in the past. Well, 3 anyway, and held pretty well. That was, of course, apart from the earthquake resultant tsunami, where we saw a lot of yen repatriated back to Japan, which caused this big move, strengthening move. But apart from that, we seem to see this holding pretty well here. If it was a toss-up between the two economies, the interest rate differential between the US dollar and yen, it is small, however it is there. We've obviously got higher rates in the US at the moment. And if we were taking a view on the two economies, we know that Japan's in pretty dire straits at the moment, sorting itself out from some natural disasters. And the US is not exactly growing or growing fast, growing much at all, but at least it's sort of holding its own ground there. So a couple of rationales there from the fundamental side to think that getting set here going long is probably not a bad place to be. We know when we're wrong if we take out this low here. So it's a relatively low risk trade because we put our measurement tool in here. And 79, 72, so if you had a stop in around 79.50, 79.50, that's right. Sorry, 79.50, early starting week here, or 60 there. So we're risking sort of 40 to 50 pips here, and then we look for a first take profit target around 82. Okay, so I think I'm loaded that one long enough. Another one that I mentioned last week, I'm pretty sure, was St. Barbara. That's Gold Junior. Suggested that, again, pretty solid looking levels of support down here just under 180, and it does seem to my eye, be a confirmation in terms of turning the corner here. So we've got a reversal, fairly clear reversal pattern there. So I don't mind that one either. Let's just take a quick look now at the vector vest, where at the moment we've only got 89 buys out of 1,600 stocks, 767 sells and 770 holds. So if you were to look at getting into the market here, according to vector vest, you probably wouldn't have a lot to look at there. You just took the normal value, safety and timing indicator. These are their top picks at the moment. Okay, so Luca remains at the top of the pile there with the Equinox, Mineral Resources Index, Medusa, Aditya Birla, Atlas, Lend-Lease, North Island, Campbell Brothers, Rio, Ballad, Fortescue, GrainCorp, Astron, BC Iron, Catalpa, Charter Hall, Flight Centre, GPT, Oceania, Capital, TPG and West Farmers. Okay, I know one thing I haven't done is gone through the economic calendar. We did look briefly at that downgrade there for Greece, going to negative. But later on this morning we do have Chinese Consumer Price Index numbers. Now a big number there, or a surprise number there, would be a bit of a concern because it will have the administrators there wanting to tighten the screws further on the fiscal policy, monetary policy rather, and that's a concern for everyone. The rest of the day, we later on this evening have some UK CPI numbers and core CPI numbers for year on year to look out for, and then later on tonight some US retail sales for May. That'll give us a bit of an idea of how the US retail consumer is thinking there. Okay, well that's it for the day. Wind it up there, I think, and as always, recommend to everyone to have a good week, take it easy, and till next time, bye-bye.